Hello and hi, welcome to another installment of my monthly roundup of Japanese EPs. If you've missed any other installments, maybe check them out. There's been some fantastic music this year and this month, and that is why I like to talk about it. So, okay, let's just start with the first one here, which is going to be by the band Clione houteishiki. I always mess it up. There's a little too many vowels in there for me, and this EP is called Bal Cone. So I think if you really like heavy sounding indie rock, this is the EP for you, because that's pretty much exactly what this is. I would very much say that this EP is for fans of Kinoko Teikoku, Hammerhead Shark, and also Dount. And so I'd like to tell you how I feel about this album, but it's just gonna sound like a really poor quality review, but here I go. I think this album sounds really cool, and that's just the only way I can say what I think. I know it sounds awful, but this is really a cool sounding album. It's got a really chill vibe. I like the lyrics, I like the vocals, I like everything going on here, and I really recommend it. I think it just absolutely oozes that sort of cool factor to it. I think my favorite song is probably the one called Haze, which means wind in English, but they're all still pretty good, I think. On this song in particular, I love the sound of the intertwining guitars, oh my god, and I think the drummer's killing it too here. And of course, the vocals are just the cherry on top. I'm sort of holding back on talking about this now just because I might do a larger solo review on it. I'm not quite sure, so maybe. But regardless, I still very much recommend this. If you like rock music, if you like post-rock, this is for you right here. Next up is a very self-explanatory EP, just in name alone. That is going to be the EP Weird Dreams by the band Texas 3000. This EP and this band is weird. They just make whatever kind of music they feel like, though it really leans heavily on Midwest emo, but there's some variation there still too. Like for instance, there is a song on this EP called There's Still Time, and this is almost this like soft rock, downtrodden, almost jazzy bossa nova kind of song. It's like sort of emo-y, though it also ventures into other genres, much like the other songs on this EP too. I guess I would maybe call it dark jazzy or like emo jazzy in a way. I think in general this album really gives me a Modest Mouse sort of vibe, though on the other hand too, I think it almost sounds like Black MIDI mixed with like Pearl Jam. One thing I do like about this band too is that there's actually two vocalists, and that really allows their music to just kind of venture into however they're sort of feeling, but they still make it all like work and sound well together, which I think is a real feat. Also, there is one song on here which is featuring one of the members of Dos Monos, which is super cool. I love them a lot, and they actually had a new EP that came out this month, which probably gonna be in this same video when it comes out for May, so next month. And yeah, I think my general sentiment is yippee! I like this a lot. It's really good. You should check it out. Next up, we have the EP Foooocus from the band AOOO. I had actually covered this band late last year because they released their debut album that was just self-titled, so it was called AOOO. While I did really like that first album, it was very weird because it sounded like one-for-one like music from the band Polka Dot Stingray. And so with that said, I was kind of wondering what a second selection of songs from them would sound like. Would they continue to kind of co-opt that sound, or would they kind of go more original with it? And also, side note, not to say they're copying, it just sounds exactly one-to-one, which I'm actually happy about because Polka Dot Stingray doesn't really make music anymore. So I'm happy they're here now. Now, let's actually talk about this EP. I think in general, this is just more of the same from that first album. So if you really liked it, there's just some more songs here for you, and that's actually super cool. I am certainly not complaining. And actually on top of that, one thing I do want to personally thank them for is that this is available in high-res lossless on Apple Music. Not a lot of people do that, so thank you, it sounds fantastic. And so, what does this album sound like? It is a very fun and very intricate Japanese rock pop. One thing I will say though is that I think this EP is maybe more poppy than that first album. And also, in case you haven't watched my first video, which you totally should, it's right here, I actually go over how this band is technically a supergroup. The lead singer of this band was actually the lead singer of Clione. And so while their music was a lot more indie pop, indie pop rock maybe, I feel like the songs here are very much more mainstream J-pop and J-rock, which honestly I think just kind of fits the band's whole aesthetic a lot more. My favorite song is the one called BAQN. I don't know what that means. I don't know how to say it, so I'm just gonna say the letters. I think I primarily like it because it actually has some edge to it, which is really saying something because pretty much none of their other songs really do. But I think they sound really awesome in this style, and I wish they would do this more because I just like it a lot. And then the immediate next song in the tracklist is called Sunset Memory Road, and it is nice and groovy. It is some nice indie pop, and it's just more of kind of what I want to hear from this band. I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I would, and that is a really nice thing to see this sort of band improving very quickly too. I think that first album only came out like 6 or 7 months ago, and here we are with a really fantastic EP. So super cool, and I think so far this EP is one of my favorites of the year. So please check this out. Next up, we have a very indie band. They are called Plastic Poolside, and this is their EP titled More Words for Violence. Let me start off by saying this. This is easily one of the worst mixed and recorded albums I've ever heard in my life, but I love how that sounds. It sounds so like raw and unfinished. I am just absolutely in love with that sound. This EP is very punky, it's very rowdy, it's noisy, it's lively, it's got lots of energy. I wouldn't quite call it metal, but it's definitely some very like high octane punk music. Even with that said though, there is a really nice variety of like slow and also fast-paced songs too. So it's kind of got something here for everyone, I feel like. I think all of the songs on this EP sound very cohesive without sounding samey, which is really hard for punk bands, I feel like. So hats off to Plastic Poolside. I almost forgot their name there for a sec. One thing I will say though is that I wish I could comment on the lyrics or really the vocals in general, but the audio quality and the very heavy reverb on the vocals makes it so I can't really hear them. And I don't think that really matters in this case because they're really only there to suit the vibe, it seems like. I think if you're into that sort of aesthetic, you will like this a lot. And then last but not least, we have the EP called Love.zip from the artist Kenshiro Sekiya. This is a lot of techno, hip hop, and what I would say is like breakcore. I would also say that the songs on this EP really lend themselves kind of towards like cloud rap too. I think this EP features an awesome mix of styles with awesome production to suit all of those songs too. I just really find that the vibe of all of the songs on this EP are just really infectious, and that is a very good thing to be able to say. I think if you like Travis Scott or Blade or Young Lean, you'd probably like this a lot too. It's kind of got this like Drain Gain aesthetic to it, but what I will say is that there's a lot of like Travis Scott-esque ad-libs, so that's kind of where I'm kind of getting all that. One other thing I need to mention is that I actually really enjoy Kenshiro's like rapping and also singing on this whole EP. I just think this EP has a lot of fantastic sounding work here, and I think now I have to check out more of his music, so it worked. I'm hooked. I think I've got 3 favorite songs in contention here. I think my actual favorite is maybe Tempest, though I do also really like La 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 Love, and I do also really like Garden too, but I think it's Tempest. I think Tempest is the coolest one on here. And with that said, that's everything and everyone I wanted to cover for this video. So thank you for watching. I think you should check all of these out. They are short, they're EPs, so they're probably no more than like 20-25 minutes each. That's pretty easy, I think. So let me know if there's anything else you'd like to maybe hear me talk about soon. Let me know in the comments. And again, in case you want to check out maybe some other EPs that have come out this year, I've got all these videos. You can check it out. So yeah, okay. We can end the video now. Bye.